Let's do a little Carlton or witch ramble about Carlton and Fremantle. Not that anyone's expecting anything big, but there's a little bit of a positive, okay? Because Carlton have a number of water placements, right? One of the highest in the whole AFL. They're very absorbent to feelings. They're very much about feelings, right? It's why everyone is noticing like they're not into it because they don't feel like it, right? So even though there is this down energy because of Silvani, because of the talk of Charlie, Charlie now not playing, Silvani not playing for the rest of the thing, all of that, right? All of that, because they're not going to be present, because they'll be completely taken out of the Melbourne bubble. There is a chance that these players that absorb feelings like Sard, like DeConing, like Cripps, that these players might not be as sucky. Okay. Now, one of the major energies of the day that we will be playing this game under is one that's not until 6 o'clock, but that's going to start rolling in, right? So it's really asking you if you are going to stay on point in chaos, right? And like this is a little bit chaotic. We don't have Charlie, we don't have JSOS, we've got all of this fucking chaos going on, and everyone's being asked individually today is like, will you remember who the fuck you are in the face of chaos? Now, the mix of this team is probably one of the better ones that we have actually had because of the way the energy is working today and because of the inclusion of some of these players, right? So, normally we have a lot of water and earth, right? So, we're like heavy, we're stubborn and emotional. And when you're playing a team like Fremantle, which even though their overall energy is a Cancer energy, right? So, which is a water placement, their mix of fire and air, so people who take action and people who are thinkers are quite high, right? So there isn't a large amount of like emotional absorption in the team in Fremantle, right? Even though the overall energy is. So the overall Cancer energy gives them this like family kind of vibe, right? And that Cancer energy is lit up for luck, for taking risks within luck, and for going to extremes. So they're already ahead of the pack with today's energy. Okay. And then they've also got a number of air. So people that are thinkers like Sarong, like Chapman, like Luke Ryan. And then they've got fast people, people with fast minds as well, Patrick Boss. And then they've got like this confident fire, which is your Jai Amos, your Josh Tracy. Um, and then you've got a little bit of that kind of stubbornness in like Andrew Brayshaw. So that's all they've got in the stubborn category playing today, right? Whereas like when you look at Carlton, we've got a little bit of stubbornness across the whole, a lot of people stuck in their fucking heads across the whole thing, right? We've got the emotional absorption of Sard and DeConing. We've got a little bit of stubbornness, which is actually quite good in George Hewitt because he's got some fire backing that up, and in Ollie Hollands because he's got some fire backing that up. But Harry Mackay, he's an overthinker, doesn't have a lot of fire backing him up. And then our thinkers, where are the air signs? Where are the thinkers? Where are the people who can think on their feet, mate? Because the only Aquarius we have is Charlie, and he's not playing. And the only other thinker we've got, the air sign who thinks on their feet, is Pedo. That's it. Everybody else is earthbound. Everyone else is grounded and slow and stubborn, or watery, emotional, absorbing of emotion. And so unless they know how to turn that emotion into motivation and action, we're weighed down, right? We're like Carlton carries around with it a bag of mud, and Fremantle in their bag is fire and air. Like it weighs fucking nothing, right? Because the energy that starts in the afternoon, and it doesn't start until 7, but because these are big movements, they start rolling in earlier. So after we get that, like, are you going to stay true to yourself fucking energy around 6 o'clock, which we're working on? Like, we're working in between. Are you putting in the work? Are you being disciplined? Are you going down the list? And are you being true to yourself? Right. And then we get asked, are you going to stay true to that version of yourself in the face of chaos? And then after that, we get this like, what are you building? What are you dreaming of building? And how does that help you be the full version of yourself? So there's some very interesting energies around that really can look for the Carlton team could be quite confronting, but just this mix is much better than you would normally see. Okay. So we've got like the fire that we have is Lockie Fogarty, Ashton Moyer, and Francis Evans. That's it. Okay, that's it for overall ego-based confidence. And then when we've got masculine energy fire, we've got Ollie Hollins, we've got Cripper, but he's pretty weighed down right now in the fields, and we've got Nick Haynes. Right. Then secondary, Jackson Binns, Jordan Boyd bring a little bit of fire, but everything else very heavy. So we're really going to be looking for Fog and Moya to step up under this energy. They are really going to have to shine. And then the other fire sign who I think we're going to have to put a lot onto is Weeders, of course. But Matty Carroll is also having some really nice energy for today as well, where he should be able to quite lock into the fire, which is where he's heading for his future. So Matt Carroll and Lewis Young have got some nice energy. Lewis is a little bit more when compared to Matt Carroll, like Matt Carroll is like fire and hard work and knows like how to start shit. Whereas Lewis is like he's fire, but he takes a lot into account of how other people are going. Right. There's a huge impact on his energy based on how other people are going, right? Whereas Matt Carroll, like you got your Matt Carroll, your Nick Haynes, your Ollie Hollins, they're kind of individual players when it comes to like how their energy works. They're locked into their own energy. Fog and Moya are sort of the same. Um, Moya does have a little bit of a concern of what other people are kind of looking at, right? Like if he's taking a risk, he's thinking like, oh God, I hope this works out because people are looking at me. There's going to be some players who I think are going to struggle with the energy. I think Zach Williams, Zachy, be careful. You're going to be one of my injury risks for today. I think there's also a bit of an injury risk for deconing. His mind is like in the wrong spot, and he is very absorbent to emotional energy. And with the whole like Charlie not playing, Silvani not playing, and maybe on his way out, like there's a lot of emotions kind of running around there, especially because he's like in the middle of deciding what he's going to do with his fucking life. I don't think the team's going to be able to fall back into what they would normally fall back into because I just don't think they've got it available. There are a lot of people in the Fremantle team who are going to be trouble. Caleb Sarong, Heath Chapman, Luke Ryan, Hayden Young, Patrick Voss, Jai Amos, Josh Tracy, Andrew Brayshaw. They've all got different levels of massive amounts of support. Sean Darcy is going to be fast as hell. And Shy Bolton, if the team is up, he's also going to be fast as hell and very fucking aggressive about it. Okay. He's chaotically going towards his future. Yeah, lots of really fucking supportive energy for the Fremantle team. So that kind of settles it for me with with what's going to transpire. But you know what? Let's do this just a little bit of magic here. Let's just do a little bit of magic here. The energy of the Carlton team, please, at the start. Judgment for whether or not they've healed wounds or whether or not they're drowning in wounds. And I've got alignment on the bottom. So they are being, this is the energy of trying to get along. This is the energy of trying to be a different team. Okay. Okay. What's the energy? Excuse me. It's the energy of Fremantle, please, at the start of this game. Trusting each other. Little bit of an emotional kind of barrier, though. Oh, they're getting through it, though, because we've got emotional balance on this side. And we've got a good incoming message on this side. Okay, so they're in a good place. Okay, the end of the game for Carlton. Great. Death, the Hierophant, Empress in reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Needing each other too much, needing to give up on something, um, needing to learn a lesson from the. Fantastic. The devil representing old patterns, right? So needing to learn a lesson from old patterns, whether they do or not, is a whole other fucking question, really, isn't it? Okay. Energy of Fremantle at the end of the game. One pops out, fucking Justice. Who's on the bottom? Seven of Pentacles. Justice being revealed. Again, this is another game that Carlton are playing that the question being asked is which team deserves to lose, not which team deserves to win. Great. Last little bit of this reading. Let's get some numbers. Let's just see, because I like to see. I like to see. All right, first card out is going to be the number of higher or lower for the score of Carlton. Second one will be Fremantle. Carlton. Fremantle, please. Maybe closer than we think. Carlton 18, Fremantle 19. Maybe it's going to be a closer game than we think. But it's Fremantle. As per the cards, I think it's Fremantle. As per the energy, unless Carlton fucking tap in. Unless some decisions have been made throughout the week that are making people feel like a new journey is on the way, which fingers crossed it is. But I don't want to say it, but I think I'm tipping Fremantle. Fuck. Go Blues.